News when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Amy Morris. There's a closing bell on Wall Street where traders sent stocks lower ahead of the Federal Reserve decision. We do bring you closing numbers each day here at Bloomberg. The S&P 500 is down 18 points. NASDAQ is down 80 points. The Dow is down 205 points. The 10-year Treasury yield at 4.32%. The 2-year yield at 3.87%. Well, the second day of trade talks wrapped up in Stockholm between the U.S. and China. While they continue discussing the terms of a tariff truce extension, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says President Trump will be the one to make that final call.
The Chinese deputy minister did say that we had agreed on a pause. We have not. Nothing is agreed until we speak with President Trump. And we will be seeing him in the Oval tomorrow to go over the deal with him. And then he'll decide if the pause continues as is.
The delegations have agreed to meet again in 90 days. Meanwhile, President Trump says he'll give Russia 10 more days to reach a truce with Ukraine. His advisors have said secondary levies could hit countries that buy Russian exports like oil.
10 days from today, we're going to put on tariffs and stuff, and I don't know if it's going to affect Russia because he wants to obviously probably keep the war going, but we're going to put on tariffs and the various things that you put on. It may or may not affect them, but it could.
President Trump speaking on Air Force One on his way back to the U.S. from Scotland. A mass shooting at an office tower in Midtown Manhattan left 4 people and the gunman dead, including a Blackstone executive and a New York City police officer. Mayor Eric Adams says the suspect drove across the country with a gun.
We have strong gun laws here, but many of our neighboring states have lax gun laws. This person appears to have had a sealed permit, even with his mental health challenges.
Mayor Adams spoke on CBS News. Leaders of nearby businesses have expressed grief for those who were killed and concern for the well-being of their own workers. The Trump administration is pressing for a deal with Harvard University, requiring the Ivy League school to pay far more than the $200 million fine agreed to by Columbia University. Sources tell Bloomberg that Harvard would be expected to pay hundreds of millions of dollars as part of any settlement to end investigations into anti-Semitism on campus. U.S. job openings fell in June after jumping in each of the prior 2 months, hovering at a level that indicates generally stable demand for workers. The pullback in openings was broad, driven by accommodation and food services, healthcare, finance, and insurance. Consumer confidence in the U.S. increased in July after it declined last month. Concerns are easing about the outlook of the broader economy and labor market. Conference Board senior economist Stephanie Gouchard tells Bloomberg that it does appear consumer confidence is stabilizing.
It's rebounded, but it's rebounded slightly. And to me, the main message is we have this kind of stabilization in consumer confidence after the roller coaster we saw in the past 9 months.
The Conference Board's gauge of confidence rose 2 points to 97.2. Union Pacific has agreed to acquire Norfolk Southern in a cash and stock transaction, valuing the company at about $72 billion. Lee Klaskow is the senior transport, logistics, and shipping analyst for Bloomberg. He says the deal makes sense from a logistics standpoint.
And one of the reasons why they are doing this, you're going to reduce interchanges between the two of them. They interchange around 1 million carloads a day. And if that carload is able to be on the same network, it's not only going to improve network fluidity, it will actually lower the railroad's costs.
Bloomberg's Lee Klaskow on Bloomberg Intelligence. The companies aim to close the deal by early 2027. That's news when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Amy Morris. This is Bloomberg.